it's Jennifer from Sea Lemon. For this video, I'm coming together with some of my favorite kin community channels for a DIY wedding collaboration. Be sure to watch their videos at the end of this one, and you can find those links and subscribe to their channels in the video description below. For my part, I'm going to show you how to make some modern cement planters, which can act as a table number, a weight for your tablecloth, or just a cool piece to add to your table setting. Of course, you don't have to just use these for a wedding. They make really nice planters for your home, or if you prefer, you could switch out the plant and make it into a candle holder instead. Before we get started, I want to give you some tips. You can get cement at your local hardware store, and make sure to get cement and not concrete. You can also use mortar, that's what I used, and mortar just has a little more sand in it, but it also makes less of a poofy cement cloud when you open the bag. And if you want to add a drain to your planter, just add a straw to your mold. You can recycle containers from thrift stores or even your home kitchen, and those will make great molds for these planters. I saved this container of tea, and I'm going to use the bottom half for the mold. And I'm going to try this paper cup, which I saved after dining out. To personalize these planters, say you want an initial or a special important date or number, you can try some foam stickers, but you can also DIY these with a piece of craft foam. These do come with adhesive, but I need the opposite side of the letter to stick to the container, so I'm using double-sided tape, and I'm going with the letter J on this container. Put the double-sided tape on the side which you want on your planter, so I want it to read the correct way. So just put it on your letter and then stick it on the inside of the planter. And again, this part is totally optional. If you want to spell out a word and you're worried about like letter spacing like I am, put the double-sided tape down first and then spell out your word and get it to just how you want it, and then stick it on the inside of your container. A little trick to see what it will look like: you can put a light inside your container in a dark room, and that will give you an idea of the placement. For the geometric molds, I'm going to use some craft foam, and I'm using this so that I can get more than one use out of it. You can also use cardboard, but you might only get one use out of it because the moisture from the cement will make it damp and lose its structure. To make an octahedron shape, measure out a 3-inch triangle. Trim it out and use that as a template to make 3 diamond shapes. You'll use that triangle for the top of the diamond and the bottom of the diamond. You could also cut out 7 triangles, but by making 1 triangle and 3 diamonds, you're creating less cracks for the cement to seep out of the mold. After you trim all the diamonds out, then you want to score the middle of them so that they fold in half. After that, then you want to lay out your pieces in this form, and this will be the template which makes the octahedron shape. To tape the seams together, I'm using masking tape, but you could also use something stronger. Tape the sides together to make that shaped template, and you want to leave just a little room so that you can still fold these pieces. And I realized after doing this, I could have just made one solid shape from the craft foam and then folded all the triangle flaps, so you could try that or go about it the way I did. Now that I have my template, I'm going to fold it together to make a 3-dimensional shape. Connect all the sides, and you should have 1 triangle open, and that will be the top of the planter. Tape over any open seams so the cement doesn't leak out. I will need to reopen this mold once the cement is dried, so I'm marking 1 space to reopen, so I only have to remove the tape there and not have to retape the entire mold for future use. You can repeat these steps with different size triangles to make smaller or larger planters. You can also personalize these with the foam stickers, and I'm going with the number 8 on this one. Now, to prepare these molds for the cement, coat the inside with vegetable oil. This will really help the dry block of cement come out of the mold much easier. So brush on a light coat, it doesn't have to be a lot. You also want to coat the mold which you're using for the inside of the planter. In this case, I'm using a cap from a spray bottle. Now for the cement part, which can get messy, so I recommend putting some type of cover down. In a bowl, start with equal parts cement and water. This is a good place to start, but it's not the exact measurement. You want to keep mixing it until you achieve a peanut butter consistency, and this might mean adding more cement or more water until you get to that point. And now you can add the cement mixture into your molds. And then add the container, which will make the inside of the planter. If you're making a lot of these and touching the cement a lot, you might want to try some gloves because this stuff will really dry out your hands. The inside container will eventually float up, so to keep it in place you can try some tape or put some weight inside of it. I'm going to repeat these steps on the rest of the molds. And if you're using the 3-dimensional foam stickers, make sure to coat every little side so that they easily release from the dry cement. And make more cement if you need to, adding water or cement to get that peanut butter consistency. And for the rest of the molds, I'm using the small drinking cups for the inside of the planters. Then you want to let the cement dry completely for 24 hours. Now for the fun part, which is removing the molds, and you can see how your planter turned out. And remove the container that is on the inside. Depending on the material that's made out of, you might have a harder time removing it, so just keep in mind it might not be reusable after you use it in cement. And you can sand down any rough edges. For paper containers, you can just rip those open, and the foam stickers will still be in the cement. You could leave it in, that could look cool, or you could just take it out. You can add a pop of color or draw some attention to the emboss on the planter by adding some acrylic paint, or add some lines to it with some painter's tape. This could be a good chance to coordinate with your wedding colors or any color scheme you have going for your event. If you paint one side of the geometric planter, it's almost like an arrow symbol pointing to the table. I added some succulents to these planters and I really like how they turned out. There are so many possibilities you could try with these, with the different shapes of containers, colors, and things you can add on the inside to make an embossed look. I hope you found this tutorial helpful for any occasion you decide to make these for. I would love to see pictures of any planters you make, so share those on my social links. And be sure to check out the other DIY wedding collaboration videos in this playlist. I will see you guys next time.